In the US, 0.17% of the population is homeless. While this number is very small, it does not show the sheer brutality that homelessness can offer. For example, some of them don't have much more than a jacket and a few blankets to keep themselves warm. The human body is supposed to have an internal temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. However, in the Northwest it can sometimes dip down to freezing or even lower. Under those conditions, without anything else, the human body can normally last around 20 minutes. So imagine how difficult it'd be to coast by with nothing but a jacket. It's frightening to think about. But unfortunately, you don't have to think about it, because according to an article written by the National Healthcare for the Homeless Council, 700 people who are either at risk of being homeless or who are already homeless die each year by hypothermia. Now, to be fair, people who are at risk of being homeless aren't homeless. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt and take away 100 from that figure. That still leaves us with roughly 600 homeless people that die a year from hypothermia in the US alone. To put this number into perspective, according to the US Department of Justice, there are roughly 100 accounts of abduction by a stranger per year in the United States. Yet despite these numbers, we always hear about how there are record rates of abduction on the news, and they're in your community, watch out! Well, actually, there's a really simple explanation to this, and I'm sure a lot of the people hearing this already know it, but I'll explain it really briefly. Drama sells. Answer me this. Well, what do you think would sell better? A story about a homeless guy getting too cold and dying, or an elaborate murderer who would torture his victims before he brutally killed them? Well, while there may have been 100 people who died of homelessness and hypothermia, maybe this murderer only got away with killing 18 or so. But this murderer, he's now a legend. People will fear him. It makes for good conflict. It makes a good story. That's why the latter is all we hear about. None of this is to say that there haven't been great efforts to reduce the effect that homelessness has on us as a community, but I feel like more can be done. That's why I want to create a homeless shelter. A place where people can stop worrying about hypothermia and start worrying about getting a job and getting off the streets. It's often hard to think about, but you can't just walk into a McDonald's and get a job when you have a scruffy beard and a torn-up jacket. So when you're not freezing to death, you have more opportunities to figure out how to fix that situation. In order to do such a thing, we would need to buy some land and the materials to build it. This would be accomplished through a fundraiser that would span all the way from elementary school to high school. After we get the materials, we could have planned work days where people and volunteers meet up to build the structure over a series of weeks. Now, a criticism of this might be that we wouldn't be able to get the money, but here's what I think. Homelessness is not an economic problem. It's a problem of humanity that concerns economics.